I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Erik Nurm, the co-founder of Coinswap. Erik, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Well, lovely to be here, Ashton, and thank you ever so much for what you're doing so intensely to the crypto space over here on a daily basis. Even I do admire you.
I could say the same for you and your team at Coinswap, Erik. I know your team's been working hard. You have a lot of initiatives and recent updates that I'm looking forward to talking about. And I would love for you to just kick it off for the audience with just a high-level overview of Coinswap and some of those initiatives, and then we can dive into the details.
Right. Well, as some people in the space might know already, then we did approach this in a whole different way. Whereas there was no team allocations, there were no pre-sales, and also there was pretty much a very democratic, equal opportunity start, first time ever for a DEX, and so the community seems to really respect that, and so we try to follow suit in exactly the same ways with anything we do in the future, because we feel like everything should be going into that direction one way or another, and that these should be the winners on the market. And yes, today, so we are trying to be as progressive as humanly possible. We are on the Binance Smart Chain itself. We already implemented, of course, the Ethereum, Bitcoin, and also TRX pairs, and going for the Ethereum versus Ethereum 2.0 next Monday on the Binance Smart Chain, which should be rather exciting for the Ethereum holders because of us also being the only platform out there to do a CertiK highest level audit report for the master already before launch. Mm-hmm. Yes, but go ahead. What would you like to know today?
Yeah, definitely. That is rather exciting. And I did speak with CertiK recently, and I know that they are top quality. So it's great to hear that you did that as well for Coinswap. And it seems like there's a lot of differentiators that we could dive into with Coinswap as a DEX. Can you talk about when you and the team were approaching building Coinswap out, what were some of the main issues that you saw with decentralized exchanges that you want to pinpoint to bring those solutions and really drive home a new experience for users in decentralized exchanges?
Well, I mean, we did feel very clearly that the user experience is important for the people. Having been a major enthusiast of also smart contracts out there, through which, of course, all the DEXs are built from, then we saw that it needs to be more duplicatable. And so, of course, coming from that angle, then we decided to immediately implement a better user experience from the get-go. And of course, coming from certain aspects, then certain compulsory steps have been now taken away with Coinswap Space. For example, if you would have your MetaMask and just type into any browser app.coinswap.space, then it immediately then implements the Binance Smart Chain into your MetaMask, and then you can click next and connect to the wallet. So these little details, I believe, do make a difference, and for that reason, we have even implemented a one-level invite a friend program, which we believe psychologically and practically is highly important for DEXs, which are slightly harder to use than the regular crypto.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I know that the centralized exchanges have had huge success having small referral programs, especially that seems to be one of the main drivers of their success. And it's really interesting with Coinswap having that integration to make it so easy to use Binance Smart Chain because primarily some of these major decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, SushiSwap are built using the Ethereum network. Can you talk about that decision to build on Binance Smart Chain, making it as a differentiator, and how you're really going to drive the volume and liquidity to become one of those major decentralized exchanges, to have billions in volume to get to that Uniswap level and become one of the main decentralized exchanges in the crypto space?
Well, of course, that would be one of my absolutely favorite topics, as in, you see, coming from the angle, whereas Uniswap did start months before PancakeSwap, and by that time was the biggest. then of course, huge respect to them for achieving what was recently, I believe, $3.8 billion in liquidity. But so you see, when it comes to PancakeSwap, then being the younger participant and yet being supported by the Binance Smart Chain, and also perhaps some of these incentives coming from the Binance Smart Chain core team as such, then that is only, of course, one aspect to look at. I mean, we are talking about the very fast blockchain, and also it up until recently was only 1 penny to transact from one person to the next. And so, of course, also from that angle, it is a beautiful thing to experience for any Ethereum holder to spin all the way from Binance into Coinswap and back for very minimal cost. Very recently also, then Pancake was holding 7.6 billion of assets, and so it is, of course, the hottest topic on the market right now. Now, a quick comparison: PancakeSwap does not have any hard cap on their native token, which people do look at intensely, and even whilst they do have that, and of course the same ways of governance and community decisions, also being then able from there to burn some tokens with the community decisions, then still we believe in full clarity, and that's why we created then the lowest hard cap for a token, which is 19.99 million CSS Coinswap space tokens in total. Only 400,000 tokens can be yield farmed every month. That's the only way. And every 12 months, then the quantity of those tokens that could be yield farmed drops significantly, whereas only during 58 months from launch, they will have yield farmed all the tokens. That means not they, but also us. We are also, of course, putting in our crypto in there. Yes, and so that's the one angle. And currently, out of any of the full-scale DEXs on Binance Smart Chain, I believe we are also the cheapest, being 25% cheaper than PancakeSwap. Now, when it comes to really developing in different ways, then we are a combination of marketers and investors and also tech team. Now, from that angle, then we also found out certain high interests from Central American side, for example, whereas now a large Brazilian bank is also already has put their first quantity of tokens inside Coinswap space. Secondly, they are now planning $100 million into liquidity for Coinswap. And third off, which I believe is the most significant part, and which I do absolutely recommend for all the people in this space of DeFi to explore and to go for, is that they are even now implementing Coinswap space into the back office of their actual bank in Brazil. It took us a few hours and translators to in fact get them to understand all the details, but it was such a journey and very enjoyable one. So happy to have them on board.
That's very cool, and I like how you mentioned the it's like a fair. There's the fair launch, and then there's the fair farming. And I was looking into some of these functionalities you have with the staking and yield farming, and I saw there's this mass harvesting, mass staking functionality that I haven't really seen before on other DEXs. Can you talk about that mass staking, what that means, and how the users can benefit from that functionality?
Well, yes. I mean, you see, and that is the reason why we also set up in a definite mode the 15% referral fee whenever a person's personal friend, for example, every time they withdraw their earnings, then immediately the platform mints 15% extra for you as the person who brought them in, and sends it out to you. And so why we did that is because we are already more user friendly. Now the mass staking, mass harvest is just to again take out some steps from the process and also lower the cost for the people to actually go over from, let's say, getting out the results from yield farm and then only putting them into stake. So interesting parts are that already today you have your chain links, you have various like PancakeSwap token, all already inside the 11 pairs currently, soon to be 12 pairs with the Ethereum versus Ethereum, 5 p.m. CET on Monday coming. But you see, so people need to be able to explain to each other as well how to actually get involved. And so that, I believe, is the major key. Whereas at the end of April, already we had over $100 billion, let's say, locked in DeFi space, whereas we as a platform never have or never will have any lock-in periods as such for any kind of funds. But still, so whilst considering that, this is still just a baby growing up. Interesting part to note, again, is that a large percentage of that money, that asset has come in from the regular economy, not even from the crypto space itself, and that has been proven with the mathematics. I do have some amazing advisors right here in Tulum, Mexico. I'm very blessed to be talking to them daily. So yes,
yeah, and you know, you mentioned you're early on, but it sounds like with the partnerships that you have in the works, including this Brazilian bank, it sounds like you have some major hitters already being involved in Coinswap, and I have seen you guys in a lot of the major publications, which normally, you know, early on projects wouldn't have this kind of recognition and growth. So congratulations to that so far. And as you continue to grow out, driving more volume, more liquidity, can you talk about some of the other partnerships and partners that you're making and building, and some of the backers that are going to help you get to that PancakeSwap level and get to billions of dollars in liquidity quickly?
Well, on that note, I would really much advise to more get on the Coinswap.space website and to check out our roadmap, because there's a lot mentioned, which is all important. But I bet you that you know, facts do tell, but stories do sell. So it's best for people to calmly go through that. And what I can say is that we relatively fast also could manage to get the listing for CoinMarketCap.com as a DEX. Of course, that needs to be now followed by the CSS token also being on CoinMarketCap. That is the exact procedure. It needs to be one followed by the next. And of course, these are also very recent news. But long story short, then we are focusing, of course, on the most progressive possibilities out there. As soon as TRX became possible on Binance Smart Chain, we created a pair for that. As soon as we can now help the Ethereum holders to choose either to hodl, to really hodl, whereas, well, by the way, today Ethereum did start to move upwards as well in a better pace, although it was lagging. So then, of course, we go for that as priorities, because it has always been for the last years about giving a lot of free material, free lectures around the world in many locations for the people, and so we continue to do so. Power into the people's hands, into the people's minds, and so only then we can see what else is possible with the majority of the world's population.
Definitely, Erik. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that happen on CoinMarketCap. And just talking about the Coinswap space token quite a bit, maybe you could touch a little bit for the people who haven't used Coinswap in the DEX and the platform yet, just a little glimpse of the functionality of how the CSS token actually functions within the system and creates a sustainable ecosystem for the decentralized exchange.
So first off, I would like to mention that to bring a comparison to any newbie also from the market, then we have, for example, Bitcoin, which is not deflationary. Also, Ethereum is currently not deflationary, although it's planned to be. We got Binance token, which is quite heavily deflationary, and we do like that, but it is deflationary up until they have burned 50% of their tokens. Now, on that flip side, then CSS token is fully deflationary, and already today, there's ongoing then processes of token burns, and it is created in a way that it's step by step getting more intense as the liquidity grows, and then more also people come in, and so this is, I believe, one of the main things. Now, from the other hand, then on every DEX you see it is quite a similar process, and we have made it slightly easier. But what you do is you, for example, send your Binance token in, you then switch 50% of that into the CSS token. Currently, that provides you with around 400% APR. Now, you can check out all the other results as well. I believe that is part of the reason why some of the crypto, let's say, more influential people have also looked in and then came in straight up, because this is exactly what they were maybe even searching for. And so to provide then the liquidity and to start the yield farming is in fact simple steps. There's simply more steps than with the regular, let's say, crypto transaction. But I'm sure that a lot of people do talk about their companies, but they do not mention what is the grand picture on top, which is also that people cannot make any mistakes, even like they would on a centralized platform such as Binance. You simply add your quantity of your token that you would like to swap into the other token. It gives you the exchange rate, and you simply swap. And so therefore, the platform itself is even protecting you, whilst really being locked in, and as far as we know, then with today's technology is unhackable, being identical base with Uniswap and PancakeSwap, right? Coinswap itself as well.
Definitely,
so,
and that's great.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And to get to the other half of your question, then of course this is now utility plus also governance planned out. So governance token, of course, in a way that people can decide to burn some extra tokens. People have also then, with a very big majority vote, for example, voted for Ethereum versus Ethereum pair to come along. So we do have the support of the community, which is super active, by the way. I haven't seen such activity before. And with that, I mean, with those kind of partnerships, we are also then going for another step forward, which hasn't been tried, and that's to in fact start to offer the CSS token to the ERC20 holder through Plasma Finance. And so yes, all kinds of informations are flowing in, and we're testing the limits. So you are expecting quite a bit more utility also for the CSS token. And of course, whilst it did go from 0.25 to even $45, then the market has brought it back down to very, well, I would say, attractive levels, and worth it to check out what has been the price action so far.
Definitely, and thank you for covering all of those great points. Pardon me. All of those great points, Erik, especially with the deflationary aspect of it. I think that's really important to cover, and the governance, and the fact that the community is helping shape the future of the platform, as you mentioned, with the Ethereum pair, which is coming out soon. I'll be looking forward to testing that as well when it does come out. But it's great to hear that the community is such deeply involved in not just the feedback, but actually shaping the future of the platform, as you should have with a community-governed platform and decentralized exchange.
And again, on that note, you see, we really do want other platforms to come and copy us. because people, of course, like more equality and more opportunity to know exactly, for example, where is the actual bottom price where the token has been bought up from, for example, and such. But why really, people who have been in the space for 9-10 years looked in and said that these are the things they are looking for, such as, for example, also Golden Yogi. He came in immediately after he saw that we have a stable coin versus a stable coin, and also now why we are building, for example, Ethereum versus Ethereum is to have that other slight confusion in people's minds about the impermanent loss, kind of fade away with that sort of moves. And so you are optimizing people's let's say then rewards with those steps, whilst we are implementing now the official Ethereum 2.0 being officially traded on Binance, Binance.com as well, because then number one, people are, the newbies are not so much looking into what is impermanent loss, although it's those kind of percentages being paid out from the DeFi, the DEXs, then I would say I would absolutely not need to focus on it too much. But it is what people are in fact looking for, to have any kind of hesitation, right? To not to go for one move or another. And so this is the reason. We're just trying to take those steps away, and you will be seeing a lot of synthetic coins being with close to zero impermanent loss on our platform.
Definitely, I think that's a huge key factor in making sure that people aren't afraid to jump into the DeFi space, because people see that impermanent loss can be a big risk if you have assets that are volatile and moving in different directions, and people don't really understand that fully and can incur more risk than they think they were. But with these stablecoin assets that you're introducing in ether pairs, that is removed, and that's a huge bonus, obviously. Now, Erik, we're actually running quite short on time, but we've talked about a lot of parts of the platform, the coin, which I think is great, the upcoming updates. You did mention that you have the full roadmap on your website as well. I'm looking forward to this ether pair that's coming out in the near future here. If the community is looking to get involved in the community, look for that ether trading pair update, and all of the other updates of Coinswap, and start using the platform, what's the best way for them to get involved right now?
Well, you see, if you in fact are stumbling onto this video right here by a friend being kind enough to tell you the name Coinswap Space, then of course go back to that friend. They got a thing called referral in their back office. They'll just send you a link. You will be earning 100% of the rewards that you would anyways earn, just that your friend is now more motivated to get you into more of a skill set whilst using the DeFi. We got very thorough instructions on how to, of course, use it via PDFs and videos. And so therefore, app.coinswap.space is what you would need to enter if you already have, let's say, your token pocket, your MetaMask, or let's say Binance Smart Chain wallet. Few more are of course capable and possible. If you would like to check out everything about tokenomics, the roadmap, then coinswap.space. Easy as that. I believe a rather professional name to go all the way.
Sounds great, Erik. I will leave both of those links as well in the description box below for the viewers. All the best moving forward with these updates in Coinswap Space and growing the community. I will be using the platform and watching as well, and let's follow up in the near future.